Business mentor here, coming from the Big Island of Hawaii. And today in my show, I will be talking about, the 5 unaligned checklist, the unaligned path checklist, and how being unaligned actually to your soul somaticizes in your body. And even though that you're having, your bank account overflowing, you're making good money, you have fame, you have fortune, like why the heck are you experiencing all of these kind of weird, unknown diseases or unknown things that's just like happening mentally or emotionally, or you're seeing relationship issues, all these kind of things. So I'm going to explain in a very multi-dimensional way as to like why that is happening. And most people may not see it in this perspective, but I will like break it down for you so you actually understand what is actually happening from a soul level, from your level of your consciousness and all of that in between. So if you're just listening in, you're jumping on in, please just say hi, hello. I may not see you at the bottom of who's listening in. I might see your name, but I would love to connect with you. So for my show, basically, I just would talk about my topic, share like some very valuable things that you maybe have never thought about, that you might be experiencing. And then, we have time for Q&A where you can ask me these kind of questions about the subject or whatever is like really on your mind in terms of these kind of things. So this is really important because I think like we can be, experiencing like as if we're soul aligned, but actually you could be taking an unaligned path. So I really want to make it clear to you as to like why the heck all of that is all happening. So I see Charm just jumped in. Hi, and Corinne. Hi, long time no see. So yeah, I want you to actually go into this and just like feel into if this is really you and like why that would be happening, because this level of understanding you're not going to find anywhere. Okay, so here's the thing though. First, you need to know what is soul alignment. Okay, so soul alignment to me means you're aligned up to your divine gifts, your unique energetic signature, what your soul's identity is about. And when you are in alignment, you will feel it. You will feel like on a soul level, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is what everything just feels to line up. But if you are not in soul alignment, it will feel like, yes, I feel like it feels good. I'm doing my work. Everybody loves me. I'm impacting millions. I'm, creating good money now. But then there's just something missing and I don't know what the heck it is. And why is that happening? Why is that showing? Help you to pinpoint why the heck that's happening. Okay. So when you're actually on not an aligned path, you will feel like your soul doesn't feel satisfied. Like something is just weird, something is wrong, something's happening in your relationships and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to share with you like what that actually is about. So, but you got to understand what it looks like when you are taking an unaligned path. Okay. And then after that, it could, I could share more detail. If you have questions about that for yourself, if you feel like this is you and I'm talking directly to you, then please ask me. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So here's the 5 checklists. Okay. I want you to ask yourself, because this is normally when it gets to the extreme. Okay. And if you feel like you're kind of going in that direction, you cannot pinpoint it into actually when it starts somaticizing in your body and you're having all these kind of weird issues. But I'm just going to tell you what it looks like when it's really bad. Okay. So normally, what happens is when you're taking aligned action, it feels like, yeah, I'm doing my purpose. I'm doing everything like I think of that I could be doing for myself, for my soul, my family, my friends. It feels like everything is kind of lining up. Okay. So definitely you're going to feel that, like you're just going to be doing your purposeful work. You're going to feel like, yeah, like everything is on par. And then you're trying to like create everything where you have it all, right? Where you actually have it all and you're experiencing it and you're having it all. But then these kind of things are somaticizing. Okay. So the first thing you want to check is, normally what happens when you're somaticizing this kind of stuff in your body is you'll start to hide. And you're like kind of unconsciously hiding because maybe you're like gaining too much weight, or you feel a bit ashamed, feeling a bit judged, or feeling like kind of like weird about your body image. And you're just kind of like in this hiding. That's normally like one of the biggest signs that you're kind of like not in a aligned path. And then what you end up doing is it actually kind of muck up your business, and it makes you feel like, well, I don't really want to do my messaging today. I don't want to do this live stream. I don't feel like good. Like, it just feels like so uncomfortable, like in your body. Like your body is kind of sabotaging you from actually doing the thing. It's like creating more of this kind of feelings that doesn't make sense to you, but you know, like it's something that you should be doing, right? Like you love what you do and you love sharing, value to your tribe, but then there's like this feeling like, oh, why I gotta hide this part of myself that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that's really a number one thing you gotta watch of why you're hiding, and sometimes it has to do with just you're not comfortable with your body image, and the reason you're not comfortable has a lot to do with it not being an aligned path and it not being aligned to what your soul is all about. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you that's like the number one thing is go check. Are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Is that essentially because, you have this weird body image about yourself? Or is that really something deeper as to why you can't be visible? Because you want to be known and you want to do what you want. You want to make an impact and you're like doing your stuff. But it feels like just strange. Like, why the heck can't I do that? It kind of shows up that way when you start hiding. Okay. Then the second thing is you start to want to move 100 miles per hour. Like you literally just want to hustle, and you feel like this drive, like I gotta connect with my tribe. I gotta like do like a million things, do all of these projects all at once, and you just like can't stop and you can't really, really relax. Even if people tell you like, okay, like you're doing too much, and you're like, no, I'm fine. I can do it. My body's fine. And then you just start going more and more and more, 100 miles per hour. And you actually get almost sometimes obsessed about making your body feel fit. Or like you're trying to overcompensate and try to like prove your worth more and just not feeling really worthy. It's just like this weird like feeling worthy stuff starts to come up. So I either can see this by someone tells me like they're either like binging on food, right? Or like where they're gaining weight for no reason, or they're like over obsessing about exercising or doing stuff with their body. And because they need to do something, they need to be just in action, need to be hustling, working hard. That's another big sign that you're kind of maybe going in an unaligned path, okay? So you literally want to be moving at 100 miles per hour. That's what it feels like, okay? Then the third thing that you would notice is, like I said, you start to do like emotional eating, or you start like trying to overindulge in some things. Maybe some people actually take drugs, or alcohol, or, like caffeine, like trying to like kind of feed yourself, right? And so there's this habitual thing that you get into this weird thing about your body. And then you start to have like irrational fear pops up in your head a lot, and it's just not making sense. Like, why the hell am I having these thoughts? You actually kind of feel like you're feeling less worthy, feeling a bit disempowered at some point, and it just feels like, I don't know what the heck is going on with myself. Like my mentally, emotionally, physically, it's just like not connecting. It feels like you're doing stuff, but your body and your mind is not fully in alignment. You know what I mean? Like it feels like your head is doing something else. You're like dreaming big, but your body is like, oh, I don't want to do that, or I want to work harder, or like go and push more and do more, stuff like that. That's actually the third thing that you're going to see, that you start doing that more. Okay. Then the fourth thing that you notice is if it gets really, really bad at some point, you will start feeling like you're not breathing well. Like every time when you actually are aware of your breath, you're like, oh my God, I gotta stop and I gotta like do it consciously. And then you start having problems with sleeping. You start getting like panic attacks in some really severe cases. And maybe some autoimmune diseases start showing up. You get like all these accidents are happening in the same place in your body that seems to just go over and over again. In some severe cases, some people get night terrors, like since they're a baby, because they're just super sensitive and they've opened up these negative portals that could be opening up while they are doing their purposeful work. That gets stronger. So whatever was like the symptoms that you've had before, it starts to somaticize. It starts to get bigger. Like it just starts to expand in the more of a negative direction rather than a positive, and you just feel like it's controlling you rather than you can't control it. So then what happens is that emotional part, you get it kind of like plagues you, all those thoughts, those emotions, just it feels really uncomfortable and you don't know why it's happening. And even when you ask anybody about it, they're like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why do you have those issues? Like, you have it all. You've got a lot of money, you've got a lot of fame, you're impacting billions. Why are you having all of these physical issues, these emotional issues, spiritual issues? Like, it's just like stuff just starts to show up, and it's like accidents or stuff just like pops up in your face. Okay, I'm explaining to you the whole process of what happens when you're going in the online path. Okay, so that's why it sounds really bad, but this is this is literally what you need to know. Okay, so that's the fourth, right? The fourth one, right, is that you start to experience those kind of like severe stuff that somaticize. Okay, then the fifth one, at the very severe level, you will start to feel this void, like this void feeling inside, like you don't know what the heck is wrong, and whatever you did before like doesn't light you up anymore. Like you don't feel like inspired to do that every day, because the problems that is happening in your body, in your mind, in your spirit just gets bigger and bigger, and you feel more and more uncomfortable in yourself. And even though everybody loves you and they're telling like they love your work, they want to work with you, you just feeling like not feeling it anymore, just like feeling like totally disconnected. And no matter like what you buy, like you can have a luxury car, you can have like everything that you can think of material wise, and you can do like amazing self-care, you know, like spending a lot of time by yourself and trying to like figure out what's going on, do some spiritual practices, and still the void is there, and you're like, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This gap like doesn't make any sense, and you don't know what's going on. That is because you're not soul aligned. Okay? What's happening is at an energetic level, your fifth, your fourth, your third dimensional aspects of your soul. Okay, we have 10 dimensional aspects of our soul. Those are lower levels of energy. They're all like somaticizing. They're getting bigger. The problems are getting bigger in your spiritual, your mental, your emotional bodies, and your actual physical body. And that's the last step, is you're actually experiencing it physically. Your body feels it. You feel really uncomfortable in your body. And so like everybody can say like, wow, that's amazing. It's like, why do I feel this void? Why does it feel really good in terms of like everything I've ever done? It just doesn't have meaning anymore. You don't have meaning within yourself. And it gets like to a point where you just either want to give up. Some people give up by like giving up their business, or they give up, I don't know, they just feel like just totally lost. So like what they actually was doing, their purpose for work, it doesn't feel good anymore. Okay, like it doesn't feel like aligned. But it's not that the thing is like totally misaligning, you know, it's more about you as to why you do what you do. Okay, and one of the biggest reasons is there's actually 3 reasons. Okay, one is everything you're doing is not so aligned, whether it's in your business, in your life, in your emotional health, in how the way you show up in your relationships. Like everything is not aligned, so it's not so aligned. Okay, second thing is your soul's business is not aligned to you at all. Like the business model that you're doing is not aligned to you at all. So then you have to go back and figure out, okay, what the heck was my soul about? And then when you go back to soul alignment, then your business model will make sense, and you start to actually self-express, and you'll be more in alignment with what your soul's design is about. The third thing is it's soul level blocks. So literally what I just said, that your fifth, your fourth, and third dimensional parts of your soul, it's keeping your consciousness low. So like, let's say, you know, when I do this kind of stuff, like usually your consciousness will be like, yeah, I'm being of service, and I'm in my expanded nature. I'm doing everything in my life and business that seems in alignment. Your seventh dimensional aspects and above feel very in alignment, but then you look at your experience, everything is falling apart. You know, your body's falling apart. You just don't feel really good anymore and being in your body. So that means that you really need a soul level clearing work, and that's what I help my clients with. Is like those. There's actually 4 levels of clearing you need. You need to clear all the stuff that's in the background of your business model. You need to clear all of that past life and like the core of where all that problems are coming from originally. That's creating in your relationships, that's creating also in your body essentially, but that's very much like your 5th dimensional aspect. Then there's a level where your 4th dimensional level, right, which is my level 2 work. Then you need to like clear all that mental emotional problems that is around you mentally and emotionally, and that is like clearing all the illusions, the beliefs, the relationships and the cords that you may have, attachments with other people, like that kind of stuff is going to be happening in the background. Then there's a 3rd dimension aspect, which is in your body. All of the genetic stuff that's happened in your family line, that needs to get cleared so that it's not somaticizing in your body and the rest of your life. So that's like genetic karma, that's ancestral vows, it's like really deep stuff that is like in your body, in your DNA is what I mean. So what's happening is all of that stuff is, when you make more fame and fortune, you're expanding that upper consciousness, the spiritual part, right? Like the higher consciousness, but your body, your mind, your spirit, they're like not in par as to align up to your higher spiritual self, right? So then this is why that part somaticizes. Like everything you can think of will happen to you physically, mentally, spiritually, and it feels like really uncomfortable living in your life and your experience. Have any of you experienced that before? Like it just doesn't really feel right. There's just something wrong. I'm telling you in that perspective because that's normally what happens for celebrities or big name people, and they don't know what's going on. And it has to do with all of their old, 5th, 4th, and 3rd dimension aspects are getting really loud. Like really distracting and very loud, and your body just can't take it. So what happens, it creates all kinds of body problems, mental, emotional problems, these kind of things that just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And that is because you have spiritual soul level blocks, right? With those major 4 levels that I just told you about. Your business isn't totally not in alignment with your soul, so you're like not doing a business model that's totally about what your soul wants to do and how it wants to do it. And 3rd definitely is soul alignment. Everything that you're doing is not aligned to the way your soul is, so you don't know how to create that business model that works for you. And all of the karmic crap is just bam, like somaticizing. Does it make sense? How's everybody feeling about that? Does that make sense to you? Have you ever experienced that before, or have you ever heard that before? People say like this, but they just didn't know what was going on. It's a really big problem. Like seriously, a really big problem. Hi Lillian, hi Lisa. It's a really big problem because normally at that level, you don't know what's happening, and your soul feels totally misaligned. Like everything in your life can look super great on the outside, but your soul feels so yuck. You know what I mean? Like mucky feeling. You feel mucky feeling inside. And no matter how hard you try, it's still getting bigger. Like people tell you it's like you do amazing stuff, you know, but then it feels so not in alignment anymore. So here's the solution. I'm giving you the big ball about it. Okay. The solution is soul alignment. Number one, you have to be alignment to the way your soul wants to do stuff. If it's not in that energetic frequency, right? Like if I'm not aligned to my divine love energy, like everything else goes in a chaotic mess, right? Then the second thing is make sure that what you're doing in your business model is aligned to your soul. And that you actually need to know your blueprints about. You like need to know like all of your divine soul blueprints to actually understand how to make your business look like your soul totally. So like I don't do things that's not aligned to my soul. Like I don't like writing. Like I love talking. If I try to write, it takes me 3 hours to talk what I'm talking to you guys right now. It would take me literally 3 hours to write it down. It's just my soul is not meant to do it that way. So I don't push the business model to look like I'm a writer or I'm a blogger. Like I'm a bad blogger. Like I would rather be like vlogging, you know, like, so that's what I mean. It's like your business alignment will feel like it's not working. So you really have to make sure that it's aligned to your soul. And the third thing is, like I said, you need to clear all that crap in the background, the karmic stuff, the soul level blocks. And I'm telling you, your life will be so much easier. You won't feel like you have to hustle. You won't feel like all of that crap all coming at you like all at once. It feels like really in alignment. So those of you just jumped on it, I'm going to go back one more time and say the 5 things, like in terms of what the unaligned path, and what the checklist of what that actually looks like when you're going in an unaligned path. And I'm going to share how that actually somaticizes in your body. Okay. So if you got a pen, write it down. Okay. Number 1 is the first thing that you will start noticing is that you start hiding. You actually have this unconscious, like weird thing about like you start hiding instead of showing up and stuff and being, you know, really a leader in your business. You start to like hide and not do the things that is necessary to really get your business out there. You start to hide, and you do it unconsciously because maybe you have some really weird self-image thing that keeps coming up, and you start gaining weight for no reason, and you just feel very ashamed and feeling judged when like nobody's judging you. Like you just feel it. You like feel like I'm judging myself. And then you end up like mucking everything in your business, and it just like feels really weird. You start hiding, okay? Then the second thing that happens is you want to move 100 miles per hour. Like literally everything you're doing, you just can't relax. You like, everybody tells you like, you're doing really well. Like, why don't you slow down a bit? And you actually end up going way more faster. And you just feel like you have to hustle more. And you actually don't feel very comfortable in your body. So you're kind of almost sometimes obsessed about like what your body needs. You need to look fit. You need to overcompensate. You know, like it's just like you're about proving your worth. Like you're just going 100 miles per hour trying to prove your worth. Until you finally realize like, I don't need all of that. I don't even want that. Why the hell do I even care? Why everybody else cares? That's what happens is at that level you start to move way too fast, and it doesn't translate in terms of like in your body, like feeling comfortable in your body, right? Then third thing is you will start to do emotional eating. Maybe you start like doing drugs, or having irrational fear comes up, and feeling worthless, feeling not empowered, feeling a bit disempowered, like, and even everybody's telling you like, you're totally fine, like, what's wrong with you? Why do you have all this emotional stuff? You know, like, you're emotionally eating, you could be like getting too much caffeine or alcohol or whatever the heck it is that you might be trying to stuff it in to fill that kind of weird void inside. And so you end up doing way too much of this emotional, irrational stuff. And the habits just like takes over you rather than you being in control of it. It takes over you. Okay. Then the fourth thing happens. I'm going in order of how bad it gets. Okay. The fourth thing happens is you start to get panic attacks, start to get anxiety about stuff like just don't even make sense to other people, even to yourself. Maybe some autoimmune disease starts to come up. Maybe you have some night terrors or stuff like in your dreams that starts to show up in a negative way. I'm talking about negative way, right? And it starts to plague you, and the thoughts, the emotions, and stuff that you used to love, like you don't love anymore. It's just like feels like, why is this happening to me? So that's the fifth thing, right? Is you start to feel this huge void inside that is unexplainable. Like even if you talk to your friends and your family about it, they don't even know what the hell you're talking about. It's literally where you don't feel like everything that used to light you up doesn't light you up anymore, and you're struggling to figure out what the heck it is to light you up again, to be inspired, to be motivated, and it makes your mind go crazy, and you start to somaticize more things in your body, more problems in your body show up, in your body, mind, and spirit, right? And it makes you feel really uncomfortable living in your experience, in your body. And even though everybody loves you, they tell you, you know, and they even throw money at you. They love what your work is all about. But then inside, you're like, what the hell is happening? I feel really void inside. And no matter what you buy, what material thing that you actually get, like it's never enough. Even though you do a lot of self-care, you do all these spiritual practices, the void is still there, and the gap gets bigger and bigger, and you don't know what's going on. So that's in a nutshell what it looks like when you're really not in soul alignment and your business alignment, and you just need to clear all of that crap, because at the fifth, the fourth, and third dimensional aspects, all of that heavy stuff is getting bigger. That's why I call it somaticizing. It's bigger, getting bigger. The symptoms of it is getting bigger in your body, your mind, and your spirit. Even though your consciousness is awakening and you feel like really in alignment, that part is getting bigger. But the experience that you actually want to create, like it's like you're an upside down triangle. Like you don't feel at all good. Like everything feels like it's just tiring. You don't know why your soul feels a bit empty. Just everything feels like it's falling apart, basically, right? So how's everybody feeling about that? What does that feel like for you? Like, do you think like you have some of those soul level blocks? Do you feel like that kind of stuff is necessary to clear? What do you think is the solution for you? Definitely, right? Hi, Ati. So totally, go into this. Think about it for yourself. What is it that I need to do to get in soul alignment, in business alignment, and clear all my crap, the soul level blocks? Because that's the secret to getting more fame and fortune with ease and impacting millions in a very short period of time. If you can really get everything in alignment with your soul, create a business that's aligned to your soul, and have all of that stuff all cleared, you will be up and running in epic time. You'll get there faster. You feel really good at what you want to be doing, and you'll be impacting millions. It's just like a more natural thing. You'll have it all. Like literally, you'll have it all. And it doesn't feel like you're trying and you're hustling so bad. You know what I mean? So any of you guys have any questions about that or want to share about that? Like, do you feel like that's kind of some of the symptoms that are happening? I just explained this very severe situation. And that's normally what happens to a lot of celebrities or people who are really well known in the industry. They don't know it until the stuff starts somaticizing. And then no matter who they talk to, it doesn't get better. It just puts a band-aid on it, and they just feel really icky inside. So this is why I'm very passionate about what I do, because this is exactly what I can solve for someone. In the Akashic records, everything that you need to know is there. Like everything you need to know about your soul, everything you need to know about your business, and all the stuff that does not do you any good anymore, that soul level box needs to get cleared. Like it just needs to. It needs to be gone. Like it's not supposed to be there in the first place, but it's because you created all of those different scenarios that made everything that looks like the way your life and business is now in a very negative way. Hi, Dee. Oh, you just missed out my whole spiel. I just said it twice, too. So, but anyway, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, so the solution is making sure it's soul aligned, like you are soul in soul alignment, because you cannot be going out there and you're leading your tribe and everybody's loving what you're doing and just like there's just void. That's why the void is there. Like literally your seventh and your third dimensional aspect of your soul is such a huge gap that no matter what anybody tells you, it won't make you feel better. But I know how it can make you feel better, right? Is I need to clear all that stuff, and I need you to actually be very clear about what your soul is all about and create a business that's soul aligned, and then that will take care of everything else. Because the strategy, that's the how you do stuff, and the mindset work, it's not gonna take care of this problem. You really need those three things, because you need 5 things, right, to be successful. You need to have everything. You need to know what your soul is all about. So that's soul alignment, your business alignment, what your business model is about. The mindset, right? Of course, that's like getting rid of unconscious patterns and stuff like that we need to do daily anyway, so that you can receive more money, fortune, and impact millions. And you need what was it? So mindset, business strategy, right? That's the how you do stuff, the nitty gritty of stuff that you need to do in your business. And you need everything all to be cleared and so that your soul can do what it's meant to be doing without those soul level blocks. So those 5 key things is, if you have any of those problems, you really need to be addressing each of them. And I found that just doing the 3 most important things, for getting rid of soul level blocks, business alignment, soul alignment, that will take care of a lot of your problems. Like seriously, a lot of your problems. So anybody has any questions about that? I know I talk like a very long time, but everybody's so quiet. Maybe you're just absorbing all of this, right? This information. Because the way I'm talking about it is not what anybody tells you. They normally tell you, well, there's something wrong with, your, why you're having panic attacks. You gotta like do this EFT and this like hypnotherapy thing or stuff like that. But actually it's soul level blocks. And the only way to really like clear it out completely and permanently is in your Akashic records. I have to tell you, because I've experienced this over and over again. Every time when I clear somebody in their Akashic records, it's a huge effect. It's not like, oh, it feels good, like for a little bit. Like you notice everything that is in your life starts to flow better. Definitely starts to flow better. You're not hustling, you're not trying. And you get really, really reconnected to your soul, which is a very strategic thing. You actually need to take actions in alignment with that, and then everything will line up and make sense. Hi, Jennifer. So no questions? That's cool. If you don't, what if you have, or you're heading in a business direction you feel is aligned, but it's still feeling a bit hard? Well, that's remember, oh, you didn't hear the beginning part. In the beginning part, I was talking about that. Like, it will feel hard. You actually be hustling to prove your worth. That's the second thing, is you're trying to go at 100 miles per hour, and it just feels hard. And it's because the business is not completely soul aligned. There's actually, so this is how I work with my clients. This is a secret, okay? In your blueprints, there's your soul specializations, there's your divine gifts, there's your unique energetic signature, right? Your marketing business archetypes and stuff like that, like those part of your blueprints. What I need to do is I need to actually look at those aspects and see how that aligns up to your divine gifts. So like your soul specializations, like knowing that will tell you like whether you should be doing this certain parts of your business or not. Because it's like something at soul level that you love doing, and you actually need to put that into your program and services. If you're missing your soul specializations and you're missing lining up to your divine gifts, it's not going to make sense. It's going to feel like you're hitting missing, and it feels like hustling. That's why you're hustling. It's because your soul specializations is actually how you love doing it. It's like your how do I call it? It's like the one thing that the one or two things that will make you money. Okay, like literally it will make you money, and then you want to like actually make that your expertise, and then line it up to your main divine gift. Okay, so like your divine gift is about inspiration and power, right? And fun. You line that up, but you need your soul specialization. I actually need to look up what the details are about that. And when you actually see that, that will make more sense as to why that would make you money. Like, for example, my specialization is I restore people's divine soul blueprints, right? When I started to do that, instead of my whole business coaching thing, and I just focused on the blueprints, like telling people's blueprints and reading them at soul level, actually clearing the blocks in their soul stuff, right? That makes me twice, actually maybe 3 or 4 times more money than I used to make when I was doing yoga and doing these healing centers and stuff like that. Like I make way more money just by that one specialization than any of the other stuff that I used to love doing, because that's just part of the gift. I've been gifted and I can do that, but it still feels very hard because it's not what makes me money. You know what I mean? I have 4 specializations, so that's why it makes it so hard. Like I gotta do all 4. And if I don't do all 4, like it doesn't make me good money. But if I put them all together in my program and packages, that's what makes me good money. He says, oh, making money so skill. Yeah, it's kind of a skill, but it's also it has a lot to just do what your soul specializes in, like it's expertise. Like we can be an expert in exercise or stuff with your body or whatever that is, right? But there's something that your soul loves doing more of, and when you put that in the picture of like the diet, exercise, or whatever the tools that you're using, it's going to like it's going to make sense. That's all I'm going to say. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. Like when I just focus on restoring people's blueprints. My other thing is I'm a dream time healer. So when I put my dream time healing work in it, that's my other specialization. The other one is the energetics, so the energetic anatomy of how the multidimensional levels work. That's why I'm talking to you guys about this, because my soul specializes in an expert at this kind of stuff, these soul level blocks, and knowing how the multidimensional levels all work. Like that's why it makes me money. And I think the 4th one was I'm a peacekeeper. So I hold the energy of peace in sacred space for people, and like I'm the mediator between the both 2 worlds. So that's why when I talk about spirituality and business, like that makes sense. You know what I mean? So he says, I love making my fitness videos 2 minutes, snappy, fresh, and fun. Yeah, so like that's really aligned to you. Like do more of that, because it's aligned to your divine gifts. And then putting in the fun and then energy, like doing that will work. But the other part that actually might make you money, you have to look at your specialization in more detail. How is that going to be in your whole package? And that makes you more aligned to that, and then you grow into that expertise. And as soon as you start talking about that with your videos, it's probably going to make more sense for your audience. Yes, it really is. Yeah, it really is. Just do it for 2 minutes. Totally, like that's really aligned to you. But you need to bring in your specializations. And this is the hard part, because if you had never, like, especially if it's soul level stuff and you've never done that before, it's like getting dark here. The sun is in my face. So you see, like, it's going to make it difficult if you don't put the package in it together. Yep, the package money part is missing. Yeah, so you need to translate that into the, what your expertise is in terms of your soul, but also what your body is good at, which is your skills, or your, what do you call it? We call it your gifts, really, but it's just like how you technically do things physically. Because there's actually different levels of your gift. There's like that level of the physical body that you just physically are good at. Then there's the mental body, which is you're maybe good at clearing people's thoughts or mindset or whatever it is. Like that's another big skill and a big gift. But then there's the soul level gifts, which are what I was talking about with D, right? It's about fun and being in your power and stuff like that, inspiring people. That is a different level of gifts. So actually there's like 3 different levels that you need to make sure that all of your packages and programs has those different levels, your body, mind, and spiritual levels. And my soul is really good at seeing all of those pieces all together, multidimensionally. So that's why I can share at a whole different level that people are kind of like, and also I know the different levels of what the gifts are all about. So do you just do the special soul energy gifts? For the most part, the mains, your divine gift, yes. That's the main thing you align up to. And then there is the different levels that I just said, right? Like how you mentally help somebody. Maybe you're doing coaching, or maybe you're doing some kind of thing where it doesn't require you to physically do something. Those are like that level of gifts. And then there's a level of gifts where you actually maybe show them an experience, or move the body or whatever like that. And then when you package them all together, it's going to make sense, like how you help people, but how your soul feels really good in doing it. Like my soul feels so happy now, because now I know that part, like those parts of my blueprints, and how that actually translates to actually making money. How that actually translates for how my lifestyle should look like. How that actually translates how my business model should look like. How should I write my copy, like, my powers and stuff like that. And it just makes a lot of sense. You feel really good. Do you do this, or can it be done separately? You mean the whole package be separate, like the different levels that I was talking about? I'm not sure what you mean by doing it separately. Because actually you want all of that to show, like that, all of that to all come together, and then, price it right. Okay, yeah. So you want them all to kind of integrate together so that you feel like you're showing up fully. Because normally what happens is you're doing pieces of it, right? Like you're really good at the coaching part. Maybe you do the, it's my son. He's knocking on the door. So, like those pieces, like if you don't have all those pieces all together, it's going to feel like I'm doing part of my work, but like the other part like feels like it's missing. Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, it's going to feel like something's missing. That's why it's so important to know your blueprints, your divine soul blueprints, because it made so much sense as to like why there are pieces of what I was doing in my business, like felt good, but then there was other pieces that didn't make sense or didn't feel good, and I couldn't figure it out. And then when I looked at all the key pieces and I put it all together and packaged them right, then that's why I can just charge what I charge now. Like I'm doing, like what I do for people is not normally what you get in just regular coaching, like they get to see a whole new level of what their life, what their soul alignment is, what their business alignment is, how to change their mindset, what the strategy of like the nitty-gritty stuff of your business is going to look like. And then of course the soul level blocks is all gone, so you just go for whatever you want. So Dee says, but now I'm aware of missing parts. It's like it's holding me back a little. Yeah, that's why. So you learning your divine gifts is the key, but then you want to have all those missing pieces. And that actually takes a lot of trial and error. It took me a lot of trial and error to figure out like how to put all 4 of my specializations in it. I couldn't figure it out. It was just like so frustrating. And then what I realized it had to do with like I just needed different levels of my packages, so that on my highest level I would do my dream time healing work, because actually that helps people manifest like crazy, and that has to be a higher price, And then I had to like separate the part where, okay, so the blueprint part where I tell people's blueprints, and I had to tell a part of how I hold sacred space for people, and that peaceful energy, that's my group healing stuff, so I do the group healing work. So like you just got to translate that into like those different pieces into actually what you do. And as soon as you do that, everything will feel in alignment. So yeah, it's definitely holding you back, little D. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Does that all make sense? Everybody's understanding all those different levels I'm talking about. Again, like, you're gonna have to listen to the replay because that was so phenomenal. Even every time when I talk, I'm really surprised at what comes out of my mouth because it's so multidimensional the way I think. And when I actually talk, I'm channeling this for you guys. So also, so each energy can be different levels. Yes, different levels. Yes, it needs to be different levels for sure. It's an energetic thing, but also it's like putting in that aspects of your specializations, your abundance codes, and all that all together. Oh, Maureen. Hi, Maureen. She says you're listening to the replay because I just tuned in and missed it all. Oh, yeah. Everybody just jumps in at any time. So if you... it's meant to be, right? So just go back. Once we're done here, you can go back and listen to the replay for sure. And this is very complex as to what's actually happening in your, from like each level that I explained to you. That five checklists that you can see if you have any of those stuff. Why it's like a non-aligned path. But if you're not really doing your purposeful work too much, it actually can translate in your whole career too. Like why you're doing your whole career and it just doesn't feel really right. Like something's wrong and something's missing. And then it becomes like a really big problem in your body. And that's the worst case, you know. I'm telling you the worst case scenario so you actually know what that actually looks like so you don't go in that direction. I hope not. Don't go in that direction, totally. And if you need help that way, the only way to solve it is soul alignment, business alignment, and clearing those soul level blocks as quick as you can. And then you'll feel really, really happy, really good back in your body. Everything will start to manifest the way you desire. Everything will just feel like flowing. You're not hustling so much. This is why it's so easy for me to just go out there and I don't have all those like crazy things somaticizing my body. Even though my consciousness is expanding, my body and my experience is going in alignment with my higher dimensional aspects. It's not like doing its own thing over here. It's actually like going in alignment with everything that I want to be doing, my purpose, connecting to source, and, you know, being of service, but like with no ego. Like I really don't have any ego about this. I just want to self-express, share this divine gift that like what I'm talking about, and that's it. Like, and I make good money off of it. That's how it should be. It should, your life experience should look like your purpose, not your purpose driving you to create the life experience you want. Like you actually want your life experience to look like your purpose. I always say that every time because it's so true. Most people are going on an online path where they're just like trying to go for their purposeful work, but behind the scenes, they don't feel good at all. And then they're having it all, they have everything all lining up, but then it's actually their life experience is not looking like their purpose any longer. All right, so if you guys don't have any other questions, I think we can end here. I talk about these kind of amazing subjects with you. So you do want to listen to me daily. I might be only just doing it like 4 times a week instead of like all 5, Monday to Friday. I'm just kind of feeling this out. But if you like what I share, totally, you know, there's a blue button, I think, at the top with my picture. Just subscribe so that you can actually get, every time when I get on my news feed, on my personal page, you will see me that I got actually on here. And I like to do it around this time of day or the end of my day. I'm really very organic about this in a very systematic way. So I'm not trying to commit to a certain time because it just doesn't work for me. I have to go by what feels in alignment at the moment and whatever wants to come through. So that's why I don't commit a certain time, but it's around this time, okay? And if you like what I share here, please share this post. It's so important that I think people understand this, how it actually somaticizes in your body, because it's something as an aspect that you wouldn't know until you're actually really, really not in alignment at all, and you're missing and you're feeling the gap of not feeling your soul. And that's that's normally why a lot of people go into depression, they get really sick, their relationships go bad, they get divorced, and yeah, all that stuff, the negative stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but like that's why it's happening. It's because it's an unaligned path. If you're not in my Facebook group, totally come join if you wish. It's Monetize Your Divine Gifts movement if you haven't been on there yet. And that's how we can keep in touch. I love just connecting with you guys. I love just sharing this valuable stuff so you just become really aware of this. Because nobody, I think, really shares about soul alignment and business alignment. It's so key to what you want to create in your life and your business. You need to have that part. So important. I can't express it so much. It's so important. And we kind of skip it because we think like, yeah, I'm doing my purpose. Yeah, everything feels good. But then you end up like in the wrong direction. And then you're like, what the hell happened? So I'm saving you a lot. If you find out about your blueprints early, right, like what I shared with you, it will just save you so much time and energy to not feel not in alignment anymore. You're going to feel really good. I'm telling you, you're going to feel really good. Like everything that I know about my life and business is based on my blueprints. And when I get stuck, I just go look at it again, dig deep into it. And then I'm like, okay, this is why, because that's not so aligned. That's not like really aligned the way I want to make my business. And then I can actually go back and go into my strategy, go into my mindset and all the like nitty gritty stuff. Yes. So yeah, totally keep in touch. If you have any other questions, totally don't feel free to, just say hello and connect with me. I love that whenever someone PM messages me, just that soul connection I want to experience over and over again. So anyway, you guys have an amazing day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I will be up and about here on my show, and we'll see you then, right? Aloha.